And for once, we finally have a Miles Edgeworth Investigations episode where I don't start off by saying, oh, where's my stylus? Welcome back, guys. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, crap. Forgot to plug in my headphones. Oh, I knew I would forget something. Alright, give me about 2 seconds here. You can just hang out with me in the meantime. Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Gumshoe, you're back. What is it, dude? Are you okay? You gotta hurry, sir. Come on. What is it, detective? I don't even remember what happened last time we kicked that guy's ass. We said there were no mud on the wheels of the... We said there were no mud. Nice. They found a blue badger costume down in front of the main gate, sir. Oh boy. Isn't that what one of the kidnappers was wearing? Bingo! That's why you gotta come to the main gate with me right now. If we hurry, we might catch them. Gotta get there before Wolf Boy does. Let's make haste. Let's run. Gotta go fast. To be continued, what? If I would've just kept going for like 2 more minutes there. Why is my mouse cursor on the screen? Oh, I love that jingle. Yes, I'd like to save. Man, oh man. Oh man, how do I keep doing that? I feel like stopping the episode 2 seconds before. Anyway. March 13th, 1992. And, where's the costume, Detective Gumshoe? Just on the other side of the fountain, sir. It's a Blue Badger costume. And it was also a Terminator. Was it out here in the open all along? No. It was discovered in the tall grass back there. It was a Pokemon. We moved it out here in order to examine it more thoroughly. Let's get down to it then. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Well, this is easy. We got something there. Uh-oh. It's another necklace. 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that? And hey, this pretty baby's made of platinum silver, too. Pretty baby. Another pin on top of the mummy shot. I can't believe I just made a Vanessa Carlton reference. Good lord. Let's see. Is it possible these two... Hold it right there. Dang it. That wasn't enough time. You only gave us like 25 seconds, and that girl's with you. Hands off, Mr. Prosecutor. You sure know how to cross the line, don't you? This guy's music is actually really good. You can hear me smiling as I got him. Argn! Arwen. What's that guy's name in Final Fantasy 15? Arden. A pendant, huh? This is a very decisive piece of evidence. How can you tell? Look here and read off what you see. Lauren D. Lauren D. Harding. Alright. Well, that's weird. Aha! We have you now, Miss Kidnapper. No, you don't understand. Well, I can't believe you were one of my kidnappers. Lance. I knew it. What is on her arm? Is that a tattoo? I hope it's not a bruise. You're kidding? Miss Paups is one of the kidnappers? No, I bet she's about to transform in a second here. You were. Did you do it for the money? Or for the nookie? But even knowing that, I can't call this case solved or over. Hey guys, case closed! Get the car ready, and I mean the special one for this young lady. Yeah, you do hold it, because there was more than one. She was probably roped into it. What are you proposing that Miss Paups is also the culprit in the murder case? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect. Oh, we found it. Found what? That officer's gun. He literally dropped it in the middle of a thick patch of grass. Your country's police are a sham. Just look how careless they are. Who are you calling a sham? Yeah, you tell that asshole. The officer's gun didn't show signs of having been fired, so it can't be the murder weapon. Well, that's good, sort of, I guess. That's when a brand new suspect comes walking onto the scene. The murder only happened because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, right, Mr. Prosecutor? Damn it. Miss Paups, did you really kill Mr. Deacon? I don't... Did you? Are you serious? We don't have another Lana Skye situation on our hands here, do we? Case 3 wouldn't be that complicated. Thanks for the confession. Uh-oh. Agent Lang, it's much too early to declare this case closed. Look at you, so sure of yourself. We've got the culprit's own confession and some very incriminating evidence. What more could you ask for? Miss Lauren Paups. Yes? I want to hear it from you. Tell me your side of all that has happened today, from the kidnapping to the murder. But why? I'm a kidnapper and the killer. You're covering for somebody. Oh God, don't do that. Please don't. It's fine if you're the one behind everything, but only if that is the truth. Now then, will you tell us the truth? Or is there some reason why you can't? Like, what's a band-aid? I've had a change of heart. I think I'd enjoy seeing you sulk away as the losing mutt. Alright, you heard me. Let's hear all about the evil deeds you committed today. Here we go. His Paups' confession. The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. I figured as much. Mr. Amano would pay anything to get his son back, after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me. There, are you satisfied? She just confessed to her crimes a second time. At least you have the guts to admit what you've done. I can at least respect that much. Miss Paups, is what you said really the truth? Yes, it is. If that is the truth, it certainly isn't the whole truth. Episode 216 of Lost. Because there is something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession. Well, how much do we really know about this Oliver Deacon? Can I look in my record for a second here? Okay, never mind, I thought they had profiles in here. Alright, whatever. It's actually kind of a relief that they don't, to be honest. The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler. I mean, that alone seems weird, considering they were supposedly so close. I've spoken with him only a few times at Lance's house. A few times, that's it? Yes. If they only met a few times, I'll see how they could have trusted each other. But if you hardly ever talked, then how could he trust you not to steal his plan? Uh-oh. That's completely irrelevant. He was planning to betray her from the very beginning. Which is why he chose someone he wasn't especially close to. Isn't that right, Sheena? Yes, however, Mr. Deacon made a very poor choice. In the end, he was killed by the one he intended to betray himself. How's that for a voice? Oh, I bet he didn't see that one coming. Alright, well. Man. I can't help but feel sorry for her. I don't know, just maybe it's because I've seen my mom like that too many times in my life. I don't know. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Okay. You could. You knew. How'd you know something like that? Oh no, what did I do? Okay, what's wrong with her now? Come on, isn't it obvious? You're making your scary face again, that's why. Why don't you try asking her in a nicer, more gentle way? Well, why don't you take over? No, stop it, Laurie. You're always like this. You always fall for the stern-looking one. That's why you'll always be unhappy. Oh, well. Mind your own business, Kay. Now then, let's continue. Mr. Amano will pay anything to get his son back after all. Okay, well, something about this one feels weird. I'm not sure why. I do believe that. Anyone who knows Mr. Amano would think the same. That Lance is that old man's greatest treasure. I suppose he would be to a doting father like Mr. Amano. I always figured that was it too, and I was always envious of Lance for it. Oh, because your dad's a dick? I got this pendant from my father, and I believe that as long as I have this, I'll find my father again someday. Well, that's right, because she had that whole story about he'll welcome me into his arms riding on the back of Pegasus. That pendant. She must really believe it to be the wings of Pegasus. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money... Uh-oh. Let her finish the sentence, but... Yeah, here we go. Well, first we went to the bathroom, because we had to. Then we captured Lance. How'd you do that? Well, Mr. Deacon did that on his own, so I don't... Oh, I was thinking in the last episode that Lance might be in on it. Like he's trying to get money from his father or something. Well, it's... now my mind is never going to let go of that. See, that's the problem. When I start thinking something, it's like... Anyway. Okay, so Mr. Deacon did that on his own, so I don't quite know. Here, I thought you knew how to steal people away. I shudder to think what she would do with such knowledge. Sorry, I really don't know, but somehow Mr. Deacon was able to contain him. All we had to do after that was wait for the ransom to be paid, but... Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me. But he paid the money, though, right? Well, the father paid the money. And then Mr. Deacon, I assume, according to her, tried to kill her so he could keep all of it, I guess. Is that what you're saying? Miss Paups, what is your beef? Is that ever really likely to happen? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Oh, I believe we should. I'm sorry, but I don't think what you claimed is all that likely. Huh? I don't think Mr. Deacon would have ever been capable of killing you. But why? We were total strangers! It's not uncommon for people to kill each other over money. Uh-oh. Miss Paups, you really are clueless, aren't you? And the difference is... Never mind. What do you mean? You never knew what your role in the kidnapping was, nor do you know who you really are. But I do, and I can show you. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Was I right? This proves that Mr. Deacon wouldn't have been able to kill him. Is it in here? Letter for Lance Amano, the letters to the Tender Loan Company. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Miss Paups, you don't know, do you? But this piece of evidence will tell you exactly who you really are. Lick, lick. Looking at it, I still don't feel anything within me at all. But now I really feel like I don't know anything. Mr. Prosecutor, are you sure the one who doesn't know anything isn't you? Whoa, explosion over my head. Wait a minute. Oh, I was wrong. Oh, shoot. Okay, I sort of had a feeling, though, the way that was going. Okay, hang on a second. I'm getting too confident here. I think kidnappers also weep when they get stabbed in the back. Even as you betray the one you claim to love the most. No, you don't understand. What's there to understand? He's looking right at her, too. Maybe he should... Never mind. Not doing it. What's wrong, Kay? I can't believe she was betrayed. I kind of feel sorry for her. I feel a little sorry for her, too. However, I also wish she would tell us the whole damn truth. Because there is something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession. But I'll give it another careful listen and see. Okay. Alright, let's get back. Alright, what were we doing here? Oh, do I need to get back in and raise the objection again to get to that evidence thing? Can't just present it on a certain... But let me do that here real quick. Oh, shoot. Looking over this now. It says we thought he might head for where his wife and sole daughter are. How much do you want to bet she is his daughter? And he's her dad? That doesn't prove that, but... I wonder if maybe this does. The pendants look really similar. Her name is on one, his is on the other. Kind of makes you wonder. Why are you showing this to me? So what about the pendant? This pair of wings, along with this piece of evidence, shows who you really are. Oh, okay. Here. These two pendants resemble each other, wouldn't you agree? Hey, you're right. They're the same color and they're even made of the same material. I believe that these two pendants are actually one. Oh, damn! Jeez! She almost got knocked back as far as that guy from Case 1. Shall we give it a try? Holy crap. But why? Why does my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon's? You're a smart lady. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be. No, that can't be! So the two make a set. It's just another trinket. It's not as though this changes anything. Oh, you lack imagination, Agent Lang. Oh, very well, I'll show you with this evidence. This is the piece of evidence that gives meaning to the Pegasus pendant. Oh, okay. You're gonna make me do this now, are you? Maybe this is where... Or am I getting too ahead of myself? What does this even say, anyway? No, that's for Lance. Yeah. Okay, well, we're talking about, like, Ernest here. So, in Ernest, we should... Wait a minute. Let me check this one more time. Okay, it could be that, but I think that's jumping a little too ahead. Like in the logic chain. What else do we have about him? There's all this blue badger crap. See, maybe that is it. I'm just being slow here. I'll try it. Oliver Deacon was just an alias for this man. His real name was Colin Devery, the name that is etched on the horse pendant. Oh, well, of course, duh. I forgot that the horse pendant said Colin Devery. I was thinking the horse bandit said Oliver Deacon, and it was, ugh. It makes sense given what is written in Mr. Devereaux's dossier. But what I really wanted to point out was this. The specific section is what reveals the true meaning behind those pendants. Oh, God. I love that his weight is 123.45 pounds. That's the stupidest combination I've ever heard of! Penny Dent. Should I just point out the name? Because that's kind of what I was saying before. His real name is Colin Devereaux, the name that is etched on the horse pendant. What the? Do you pay attention to what you say? You just told us about his alias a few seconds ago. They're in the exact same words. Oh, well, no, I'm trying to... Written in here is something other than the victim's real name that is very important. Oh. Ooh. Am I supposed to point out daughter? I don't know, man. I'm not putting much thought into... Okay, wait, this is right. Her name is Lauren Paups. There you go. That's a lie! That person was not my father! He couldn't come out and tell you he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe he was trying to secretly watch over you. He loved me after all. You still believe that a man like that could kill the daughter he was separated from? Mm-hmm. What really happened here? It wasn't so funny, Agent Lang. You're good at making things up in your head and deciding it's the truth, aren't you? What are you trying to say, butthead? You're thinking it's much too innocent, butthead. After all, I thought of another possibility, butthead. Is that so, butthead? Well, let's hear it, butthead. I'm not gonna stop saying butthead until I'm satisfied. So another possibility. I'll grant you that the two of them are father and daughter, butthead. But isn't it possible that they both knew that fact, butthead? It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the house of Amano, butthead. And the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping, butthead. Wouldn't you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well, butthead? Alright, that's enough. I'm satisfied now. So this is his version of how things might have been. You don't have any proof that either one didn't know of their true relationship, right? You mean they knowingly committed the kidnapping as father and daughter? That's right. As one really rotten family. Oh, God. Is that really what happened? I'd better take a long, hard look at the evidence. Ooh. We are building up some evidence here for sure. Full shizzle. Alright, I'll grant you the two of them are father and daughter. Right. But isn't it possible they both knew that fact? You think they knew? Yeah. I don't think only the victim knew. I think the girl realized it as well. They both knew who the other person was, but they had to pretend that they didn't. That's not a bad theory, to be honest. It's the most sense you've made yet. Or at least in the last two videos, anyway. It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the House of Amano. Or why do you say that? Because you think so? One as a butler, one as the friend of the son, you mean? They probably thought that was their best shot. Is that what you honestly believe? Of course. Pray. And the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Alright, but... Head. You mean how they plotted to commit this crime as blood relatives? Can you think of a better partner? They're certainly a clever pair. The butler and the girlfriend. No one would ever suspect that they were in fact family. Yes, from the very beginning, they painstakingly practiced these roles well. Wouldn't you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well? Okay, one more here. These actually go by faster, seemingly, in this game than they do in the others. I believe you're being a bit overconfident for someone with no evidence. Am I? Because I don't see you presenting any evidence to the contrary. Without evidence to counter him, we're stuck at his raw. Agent Lang isn't wrong. His scenario is certainly a probable one. You better hurry up and do something or Lauren's gonna wind up looking really bad. I know. First things first. Is Agent Lang's line of logic factually correct? Did the two of them really knowingly commit the crime as father and daughter? Okay, if we're gonna go on the theory here that she really is Viola, I think that's how we're gonna end up proving that she's not who she says she is. But the only question is it too soon for that? And furthermore, which one of these statements would we even present that on? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, what else do we really have besides that at this point? Everything else is like, you know, the sword. I mean, we're done with that, so. And then there's this again. Well, when did it say he got out? Or did it say that at all? Oh, well, he got out 10 years ago. He's been just on the lamp since then. Dude, duh. Okay. Well, I guess one could just as well argue, why would he wait 10 years, you know, to do this? But, I'm not sure how I want to approach this, though. I guess I never pressed the first statement. I can go do that. 'Cause you never know. Precisely, what father would ever willingly kill his own daughter? I've seen a lot of things in my travels, and I can tell you that being related by blood is sometimes proof of nothing. What if he tried to kill her because he realized she wasn't his daughter, and his daughter is still out there somewhere? The real... You know... I don't know. This guy has, like, the greatest poses. Did I ever mention that? He does. He's got, like, this prayer position, and then he's got this right here, where his head's all crooked, and he's got his hand out like, hey, man, what the deal is? Or something. I don't know what that's what my dad used to say. He's got, like, this perfect, normal pose. Like that one picture of somebody. Two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Wait a minute. Yeah, I mean, I'm past the point of worrying about whether or not she knows who she is. I don't think that's what we're after here. But this one bothers me a little bit too, because it doesn't seem like they really planned it at all. A lot of stuff they seem to do just like on the spur of the moment. Like with the whole costumes thing. Or was it Bad Badger's head for one? You know, the one that they left in my room for some reason. And then they went off and took, like, seemingly these 3 random costumes. Like, did they really plan that? I don't know. Oh, here we go. Okay. Thank God. This kidnapping wasn't planned by just 2 people alone. What kind of proof do you have of that? Quite simply, there were 3 kidnappers. Of course. Where are you getting your deep... He looked like Abu there after the flying carpet attacked him. 4 costumes were stolen from the Wild Wild West area's back room. We found one of them in the kidnapper's hideout. But as for the other 3, we can assume they were being worn by 3 different people. We also found a set of 3 cups and 3 folding chairs that were used in the hideout. It all clearly points to a 3-man group. Or a blue man group. Oh! And I believe this 3rd person is the real mastermind behind the kidnapping. Who? Who is this mastermind? It's Amano. I present to you the brains behind the kidnapping. Oh, crap. Uh-oh. Okay, well, what was I saying before? Maybe Lance had a part in it? Who else is in here? Yeah, sure, Emma Sky. She's the one that did it. Totally. Well, there's her. Well, she was one of the other 2, so now it can't be her. It's not Old Bag. We're not that lucky. Yeah? I'm gonna follow this instinct here. Oh my God. He really was in on it, that motherfucker. Lance Amano. Yes, this abduction was in fact schemed up by Lance himself. Recall what he said when he appeared before us? Go, Edgeworth. Did you see the face? Oh no, they turned it off. They turned it off, the music, you know. We're closed now, turn off the music. It's like, I hate when I'm driving in Final Fantasy 15 and it's on a really good song and then I get to where I'm going and I have to stop. Anyway, if I don't tell you at least something, you won't believe me at all, will you? Okay, Mr. Macklemore, let's do this. I know that's not a Macklemore, but whatever. I was kidnapped yesterday morning. Bullshit. They had me shut in that room blindfolded the entire time. But the kidnappers suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. My hands were cuffed, and it looks like they still are, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I could. Through the underground passageway, I presume. Are you okay? Sorry, I really didn't want to recall that horrible ordeal, but now you believe me, right? No, not quite yet. Nope, that's right, Edgeworth. Don't fall for the puppy dog eyes. Don't give me the all golly eyes. How can you not? How can you look at me with icy daggers in your eyes? Because he's a prosecutor, and because they're all like that. Uh-oh. I'll have you know, Agent Lang, a prosecutor's eyes are for discerning the truth. And should they be interpreted to be cruel at times, then so be it. Ooh, damn. Edgeworth is just the master. There's a sticking point in Lance's testimony. There's a lot of sticking points around here, let me tell you. See what he offers up when I push a little. Yeah. Don't push too hard. Alright, mister. I was kidnapped yesterday morning. Stop it right there. Can you tell us about when you were abducted in a little more detail? It was a strange morning. I felt like I was right in the middle of a great calm. And Yuna was there. Where were you when you experienced this calm? Our family garden, of course. Where else could it have been? What else could I have said? Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's part of one of my tapes. It reminded me of this. My brain, don't even ask me to explain. Excuse me for asking. This child is more a princess than prince. That's sexist. It's not sexist. It's romantic. I was out taking a walk to shake off the morning blah. Then out of the blues, someone from behind clamps a hand over my mouth. You didn't see your attacker? They must have used some drug to knock me out. Because before I knew it, I was off in La La Land again. When I woke up, I was in the kidnapper's hideout already, all tied up. Ready to go. They had me shut in that room blindfolded the entire time. Alright. By that room, you mean the room in the kidnapper's hideout, correct? Yes, but I was blindfolded the whole time, so I didn't know that until I made my escape. Then you were in the same room as your kidnappers. They spoke in hushed tones, but I could catch bits of their conversation. There was definitely two people, and one of them was definitely a woman. I was so scared. I could tell they were nearby, so I didn't dare make a move. But the kidnapper suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. Okay, the rain thing bothers me. I need to review that, though. Or I don't really remember. The kidnappers disappeared. The room fell into a sudden silence. I've been left behind like an unwanted mutt. I gotta sneeze. Okay, the sneeze is done, so... The room fell into sudden silence, you've been left behind like an unwanted mutt. And what do you mean by unwanted mutt? What a pointless question. It's not like he's gonna tell you anything new, you know. It's a poetic simile. You should learn how to use them, too. You may look refined on the outside, but on the inside... Oh, damn. But it's no good if you're not refined on the inside as well. That's fighting words right there. My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. Oops. Go back. I'm not letting any of this slide here. Leave no stone unturned, as they say. Then those cuffs on your wrists, I suppose you were still cuffed in that case. I'm well aware of how I am changed to reality. I couldn't find the key, so I'm afraid that I'm stuck like this. Even though I escaped from that jail cell, I will forever be a prisoner. I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I could. Alright. So, how'd you manage to escape? I wanted to just get out of there, but the door leading outside was locked. Which is why I had to use the underground... Wait a second. Yeah, oh, man. Wait a second. Okay, that door was not locked, because when the police broke in there, it was, like, the sword, right? Hang on. Am I off my rocker here? Was used to jam the handle to the hideout's door. And nobody was in there when we got in. So who would have done that? Like... I'm gonna blow my nose again. Oh, those are so loud today. You said the door leading out was locked. I didn't think I was gonna need that sword anymore. Holy crap. Oh! Whoa! Now you see me? We're talking about that room behind the saloon front, right? Look, I heard that it took quite a few men to get that thing open, right, Sheena? Yes, that's correct. Then take a look at this. What is that? A sword? It's not an especially reliable one if it's broken like that. Allow me to start from the end, butthead. My conclusion is that the door was never locked. Yeah. It was simply held shut by the sword, which was used to jam the handle. What you got to say about that? Lance, even though your hands were cuffed together, you could still use them. If that's the case, why did you not just simply remove the sword and escape? He's the one that put it there, that's why. I was disoriented. Yeah, that's it. I didn't notice it. As if I should accept such a bold-faced lie. You tell that asshole. You locked yourself in that room because you had to make yourself look like the victim. But you did not, in fact, possess the key to the door. That is why you used the prop sword to improvise and create a prison of your very own. Uh-oh. You've been making this guy out to be one of the kidnappers for some time now. I wonder if you've forgotten something very important along the way. What would that be? A motive! What else? You honestly think that an upright, pure boy like him would hatch up a completely pointless scheme such as kidnapping himself? Well, it's been done before. Let me think for a second. I'm sure there was a movie. This proves that Lance did indeed have a motive to commit his crime. Where's that money? Actually... Well, wait. Is this where we present it? It's because it's from the loan company. Maybe he had a debt to pay off? Maybe it has nothing to do with Viola at all. To put it simply, Lance has a very urgent need for money. This is hardly your typical love letter. It is in fact a collections bill. It appears our upstanding boy has accumulated quite a debt. Isn't that right, Lance? Oh, looks like it's hard being the son of a rich man. I thought that said something else for a second there. It must be rough when you have to resort to stealing from your old man, huh? Alright, I give up. I abducted myself. Lance! She lost her head that time. It's over, Lolly. In this life, we really are bound to our fates after all. All I wanted was to go with you to a new town, somewhere where no one would know us. I wanted us to be well off with that $1 million, that small loan. But now, that dream is over. Speaking of small loans... Yeah, that's all I can say about that. Oh, Lance. Then you're giving yourself up. Yes, I plan to run away from this world with my Lolly. Oliver even helped us with the plan, but then he had to go and stab us in the back. The back? He turned on you? Maybe he didn't want to split the ransom money. That's my guess. It happened almost right after you made the drop-off. Are we actually done here? When we were alone, he attacked me all of a sudden. After a brief struggle, I was able to contain him and keep him under control, because I was young and he was old. We left him inside that room as Lolly and I made our escape. We wore different costumes and split up. Lolly went first in the Blue Badger costume. Stop it, Bud! Seriously! What is with you today? That would make the proof. Okay, so yeah. But right then the old man just had to wake up. I was careless and he tackled me pretty hard from behind. Oh, jeez. Took the suitcase with $1 million and ran. I contacted Lolly right away and warned her that he had a gun. We had no idea that they were related, so I thought that it could only end badly. Oh. I still don't believe it. That person was not my father. Because if he was, I just killed my own father. Oh, man. There's no way this is over now. Oh, my gosh. There really was you. Uh-oh. Chain of events. Oh, my gosh. There was a lot there. Like, he put on the costume and ran away. All this. That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the $1 million in it. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There was a gunshot. The other person crumpled to the ground, and I ran scared for my life. Ooh-wee. I think the big picture is finally coming into focus, don't you? Lolly, forgive me. I didn't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only I could have protected you. So Miss Paups. She shot her own dad without even knowing who he really was. If what she says is true, are you saying she's lying? Or why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve? You'd be surprised how often people lie without even realizing it themselves, Kay. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? What I mean is, listen very carefully to her confession once more and you'll see. Oh boy. We are not done at all. That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium... Okay, at the stadium. Let's start there. Please calm down and let's slowly talk through this. But all you have to do is simply tell us what happened at the stadium. Leave it to us to search out the truth. Because you don't know what it is. Alright, so at the stadium, there was a bad badger. I need to blow my nose again. Holy crap. There was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the $1 million in it. That was the ransom money, wasn't it? Yes, that's how I was able to identify Mr. Deacon almost immediately. It was all thanks to what Lance told me. And what did he tell you? Well, he called me on my cell phone and told me that Mr. Deacon had betrayed us and had run off with the ransom money. And about how he had a gun. Okay, well, a number of things here. But the badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. Okay, which... Oh boy. Were you able to clearly see the gun? Yes, I got a very good look at it while it was pointed at me. Oh, Father, why would you try to shoot me? Do you think a father would shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't know. I don't want to believe it myself. But it's true, my father's left arm was raised with a gun in it. Pointed straight at me. I'm about to die, I thought. It pops. Please calm down and take a deep breath. Would you allow me to please hear that last statement one more time? Yes, of course. That badger pointed the gun in his left hand at me. Oh, shoot. Oh, crap. I don't even need to ask anymore. Ripped from the bad badger costume. Doesn't say which hand, though. Because I'm trying to figure out, okay, she had the real gun, right? Because she was going after him. But the gun he had was fake, because it was the one that came with the costume. She didn't know that, probably. I still say this is it. Even after looking at this, can you still claim what you just said to be true? Actually, I can. Ha ha ha, she showed you. Oh, damn, okay, wow, we're almost halfway dead here. Dead. He's laughing pretty hard at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, I know, but I refuse to allow him to ruffle my feathers. Sure are. Okay, let me get back there and press that one instead of jumping the gun. No pun intended. No gun intended. And you felt that your life was in danger, correct? Yes, I'm about to die, I thought. So... That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. Alright. You shot Mr. Deacon? Miss Paups. Miss Paups. Yes, I shot him. You didn't say anything about him, like, standing up on the stage or anything like that, right? That is the murder we're talking about here. We're going to continue questioning her. What a waste of time. Miss Paups, if you please. Alright, fine. What do you want to know? There was a gunshot. The other person crumpled to the ground and I ran... Oh, wait a minute. You said ground. Of course, the ground is whatever you happen to be standing on. I guess it's just a technical term, not really... She's not saying, like, literally the earth. But still... Did you take off immediately following the gunshot? Yes. And you didn't attempt to approach the victim at all after he was shot. I was scared. I don't blame you. Would have done the exact same thing. She seems to be telling the truth regarding what happened at the stadium. However, I don't believe it to be absolutely correct. Listen very carefully to her confession once more and you'll see. Okay, alright. I see what you're saying. I still feel like, oh... I really want to be right about this, though, that she's saying his left hand. Yeah, we know that the gun came from the right hand of the costume. It's just a question of... I don't have, like, the right hand in my inventory. All I have is this. They never put a detail like that in without it being important. Just look over my shit one more time here. What is this again? This is about... Oh wait, okay, this is about the guy who had the gun. Oh my god. Oh man. Good lord. There you go. Right-handed he is. I didn't even notice that under his profile before. I have here a dossier on your father. And according to this, your father was right-handed. Ah, then the person pointing a gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon. Oh, excuse me. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The Bad Badger has a model gun attached to his right hand. Yes, he does. Which is why the only hand he could have held the real gun with was his left. Oh, the real gun. Okay. Isn't it possible that it went down like that? Maybe she saw him in a mirror. You know. Agent Lang, were you paying attention to what Miss Paups was saying? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in court to catch it. Edgeworth, you mother. Haunchy. Enough with the smugness. He's sweating too, man. It is a hot day, after all. According to you, the Bad Badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Paups? Okay. Ugh, yeah. If that's the case, even I can see there's a huge contradiction. She claims to have seen the Bad Badger, and yet the Bad Badger had both of his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. Well, what? He could have been holding the case in one hand and the gun in the other, right? I feel like both are correct. Has to be. That's the kind of thing they would do. They are both correct. Impossible. That just leaves us with an irresolvable level of contradiction. Miss Paups' entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and beard. But what if that Bad Badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? He wasn't wearing pants? Dear God. What was it, like a badger costume with the top half? And then the bottom half is like a guy in his underwear going around saying, "Tomorrow's Christmas Eve!" No, it's not. This proves that there was a way for the Bad Badger to fully to use both of his hands. Because the gun was attached to the hand, right? Wait a minute. Well, maybe? Get your head on straight, Mr. Prosecutor. That doesn't show me diddly squat. I knew it. What I saw was just a mirage. Wait, I can explain. So, I jumped the gun again. Okay, Miss Paups said the Bad Badger had a gun in his left hand and a suitcase in his right. But the Bad Badger costume has a model gun attached to its right hand, which is what created this contradiction about which hand did what. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, that makes a little more sense. I guess I didn't understand the question, right? What is this? Separating the head and body. There is that. There's so many of these blue badger things, it's like ridiculous. Why does he say that stuff about him not wearing pants? That's like hilarious. I wish Luke and Jim was here to see this. His head was left in the isolation room. It was left in the isolation room. Is that where this comes in, maybe? The costumes have two parts to them, the head and the body. Oh, I get it now. The head Miss Paups saw was probably really the head of the Bad Badger. However, is it not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger? Ah, of course! A different badger? Yeah, like you could put one... Ooh, okay. The body of the Bad Badger Miss Paups saw really belongs to this badger. Oh, crap. Well, it's not the pink badger, we know that, and it's not the Bad Badger because they were different. It's either the blue badger or the proto badger. Boom, 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 boom. I don't want to say. I want to say the proto badger. It's because. My instinct is to say Proto Badger, I'm not even sure why, it just feels right. Blue Badger is on Allied Justice, or whatever. Well, it's one or the other, I mean, what's gonna happen here? Here. What the heck is it? the Proto-Badger. Yes, and it's a simple matter of process. Oh, okay, I remember now, because the Proto-Badger was the one that came back, visited us while we were in there. We still don't know who that even was. This Paups was wearing the Blue Badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one. Oh, okay, duh. And the Pink Badger is of the wrong color, which would have been incredibly obvious. All that's left is the Proto-Badger costume. This Paups, who was the one who wore the Proto-Badger costume? Oh, they both got their heads in their hands now. We have just ruined their lives. That would be Lance. Dang it. Are you saying what I think you are? Then Lance Amano donned the Bad Badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon. Oh, man. On top of which, he plotted to shoot Miss Paups while wearing that hideous thing. The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than that, a setup. Its purpose was to lead Miss Paups into believing she had committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Paups and pretending to be the victim. It was all done so that she would pull the trigger. Oh, you don't, do you? Well, allow me to retort! There's but one reason, Lance Amano. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon. Crap. Oh, man, these two are dead. That's slander. Take it back. You take it back right now. Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand? I'm left-handed. But what does that have to do with anything? It depends. According to Miss Paups, her attacker held a gun in his left hand. There you go. Who is what-handed doesn't prove a thing. Besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the Proto-Badger is bulletproof. One misfire and he would have found himself dead, right? But wait. Of course, logically, if he'd been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he'd have thought of that as well and prepared accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you need. Here we go. Because he... Fake gun. You know the drill. Yup. Oh, man. Man, this guy's, like, really brilliant. Except, I mean, not saying that in a good way, but I sort of am. I don't know, man. I threw it away into the sea. It makes it a bit tough to verify what it was. Although I believe that we can safely assume it was the model gun in question. Ooh. I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture. I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I am right is very high. Okay, let's pretend that you're right and that the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor? I don't know yet. Tuh, I knew you were full of it. However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame. Please, wait a sec. It's simply not possible. Because... I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance. Oh, no. Oh, God. When was this? He came back to the hideout long after the other two. Okay. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. Where I was? After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape. Wait a second. That's weird. So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left, right? We thought that it'd attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone. Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at that time. And then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Paups saw the victim with her own eyes. Which means that the victim was still alive at that time, wouldn't you agree? Oh, man. There is something very weird about that, because first of all, I got tied up in that room, and I didn't smell his farts from when he was in there, so I don't think he was in there at all. Because He didn't mark his territory like he should have. Like any smart victim would, you know. You came back to the hideout long after the other two. Okay, well. Just after we picked up the ransom money. Okay. Where were you up until the time you returned? I was scouting the park out and making preparations for our escape. I walked around in the various areas looking for the best route. So each of them had their own roles to play. Okay. This is going on pretty long here. After I was done, I went back to the hideout. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. Wait. Go back. Alright. I'm not sure why I'm even really pressing this, though. How did Lance look at that time? He looked shocked. He also looked a little down when I saw that sadness in his eyes. Thank you, that's enough for now. What of Mr. Deacon? What was his situation like? He was fucked up. He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. Did you actually see him? You were sure that it was Mr. Deacon that you saw? Yes, I'm certain of what I saw. Did you go into the other room to check? I'm brainstorming now. Lance said that it was best if I didn't get too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul. It wasn't Mr. Deacon that he tied up in there at all. It was me! That's probably why that helmet is in there, because he used it. Well, no, because my clothes still would have given it away. Anyway, you told me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself. I checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a bad badger's head on, so I'm absolutely... There we go. That's why the frickin' helmet was in there. Nope. Oh. Isn't that just great? Alright, never mind. We're done here. Bad badger's head. Boom. Suck it. Nope. It was me! The person you actually saw was this person. It was me. Why am I laughing? I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me, even after I had handed over the ransom? Use you as a decoy. It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at the time. Well, Lance, am I right? Oh, man. You showed Miss Paups a person, namely me, with a bad badger's head on, and then made your costume escape together. Oh, what do you mean he pretended? Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape, and then doubled back to the hideout. Probably to come and remove the bad badger head from my unconscious self. Should've just left it on. Well, imagine how much it would have sucked to wake up to that, though. And create his fake prison with the prop sword. He can escape via the passageway. Boom. Hold your tongue, boy. Look at the way Lance is just leaning into him. Oh, man, it looks like he desperately... Never mind. Don't get caught up in that tidal wave of words coming out of Mr. Prosecutor's mouth. Tidal wave? We've heard a lot come out of you, but I've yet to see a shred of evidence. The victim's betrayal, his subsequent detainment, all that could have happened while you were out cold. That's right, you were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor. Even if that were the case, Miss Paups would still see me tied to that beam. You were scared, alright, so you really have no idea if you were in there or not. Oh. Well, it was me, and you can trust me. I didn't smell that guy's farts, so he wasn't in there. Gun. What? What is it? Oh my. Please wait. Mr. Daddy-O. Come in here with your old mahalo, shaggy, Jamaican, gigolo, Hawaii music. To, oh, your Donkey Kong Country music, too. Oh, Miles, my boy. Looks like you're really giving it your all. And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others. Dad? Let's see. You were the one in charge of the investigation, correct? Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you. What? Oh, man. Holy crap. Well, so much for throwing that gun away. Couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself. It appears they were disposed of in the sea. Damn. Oh, is there no one in this country who actually obeys the law? There, my pretty. Now, Agent Lang, please calm down. What the heck is that scrap of paper?
This appears to be a letter from the chief of police.
Oh, God.
Please allow Mr. Amano complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says.
What? The chief of police? What the? Just who does he think he is?
The person who wields the highest authority in this area.
Ho ho ho. Who is the chief of police at this point? Because canonically, this is like just after, you know, Emma's case. Well, she's not here to. Well, she probably is here hearing this. Just the works. Chief of police would like be bringing back bad memories for her. Anyway, don't need to be so upset. I'm not a cop from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country. Now, please. This wasn't meant to strong-arm you into anything, it's just a request. I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of the land. Here... Can I say no to that? However, returning to the topic at hand, it doesn't matter who found the evidence, its value remains unchanged. Now, let's take a look at this new evidence. I've already got the results back. I had a special forensics research lab that I'm on good terms with conduct the tests. You and your money! They verified that the blood on this costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they could find were yours, Lauren. Oh no. What? Yes, what indeed. You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence. With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around. Something's rotten about this. I'll be the judge of that, you tell him. Okay, nose blow time. We'll rest until I've inspected every suspicious nook and cranny. Well, there's some nooks and crannies here, I'll tell you. This bullet hole looks kind of burnt around the edges. Wait, those burn marks were left by the gunpowder. This is the most important fact. Why is that? Because it is proof that the victim was shot at point-blank range. Shit. Oh, man. Then we have the gun here. The real gun. Maybe. I'm not sure. Oh, jeez. And we have the fake gun, doesn't matter. Wait. What's in there? What's this? And that's not another pendant, is it? Oh, hey, they sparkle. I bet they're really valuable. Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. The mirror! In the kidnapping room. But they're inside the costume. How do you wear that? Well, are these not the most definitive piece of evidence you've ever seen? Pieces, rather. Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over there. Oh, boy. Okay. You just got a little more evil in my book, dude. Just a little bit, you know. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderous gun. And they prove that it was Lolly who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lolly's life. So, Mr. Edgeworth, even you must see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense. Oof. Fingerprints on the weapon, huh? Oh no, this isn't helpful at all! Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly. But in the end, all I can do is watch on as she takes the punishment for her crimes. Hey, you said they were her crimes, and... So I have to case this all in a job to do. The job of unraveling your biggest ball of twine in Minnesota lie. You wound me. Why won't you believe me? Oh, you wound me. I had twine on the brain, apparently. Even in the face of all this evidence. Yes, I do. I don't even hesitate at all, man. I'm going for it. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderous gun. Ooh, this music is so fast. Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Paups? There's no mistake about it. Through my connections, I have the best forensic techniques money can buy performed. I find that to be a bit peculiar. If you could do that, wouldn't you also be able to, like, fake, you know, fabricate fingerprints? And yeah, let's raise it. Raise the roof! Raise it! Frankly, I don't believe that Miss Paups' prints should be on that gun to begin with. The reason why Miss Paups' print shouldn't be on the gun is... Oh. Well, because she was wearing a costume, right? That's the victim's costume, okay. Gunpowder burn is proof he was shot from point blank. Okay, well... There's no other... Well... I'm going too slow here. Well, that's the thing, though, you know... I go over this in my head a million times every time I make these videos. I'm like, oh, you gotta go faster, but at the same time... I don't know... Things really... What does the gun say again? It was originally stolen from guard by a victim during escape. Okay, well, well, that's not necessarily a reason why her prints shouldn't be on the gun, but it's a reason why someone else's prints would be on there as well as hers. Maybe that's it? I don't know. Originally stolen from guard. We'll see. Uh-oh. What piece is that? Look here, this is what I speak of. Your logic is so hard to follow, you should provide a map. Oh, ow. Okay, we're getting into the danger zone here. I gotta stop jumping it. Stop jumping the gun. Man, now it's messing with my speech this cold. This whatever this is. Jeez, I think I might have 2 episodes here. This is like going on for way too long. I still say the reason her prints weren't on is because she was wearing the costume, but... I don't really see... Did I try? What did I even try before? It was ripped from the... Because like, he could be any one of these. Worn at the time of shooting. Victim's costume, not just the head. I mean, maybe that. Oh, here we go. Okay. It's simply not possible for Miss Paups to have left any prints on the murder weapon. Did I even try anything to that effect before? Because I got hung up on that idea of the gun was stolen from the guard and all that. Anyway, well, we're okay. Jeez. But there's been no mistake. We found fingerprints. Well, Miss Paups, do you remember touching the gun at all at any time? Ah, yes, as a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house. Uh-oh. To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. There you have it. That's when her prints found their way under the gun. Boom! Okay. Oh, she is so off the hook. The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Miss Paups is the murderer. You still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right? That's not... You know, you can't prove that something isn't. It's like proving that God doesn't exist. You can't do that. You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer. Oh, Lance, why do you do this to me? What? No way! I'm incredibly worried about her. That doesn't change the fact you don't have any evidence, right? Boy, I've been showing evidence of you all day long, and you just keep dodging it. Yeah, it doesn't mean I don't have it. Why am I Southern all of a sudden? Oh God, I do? I mean, yes, I do. The story that Miss Paups killed the victim at the stage in the stadium, the whole affair is simply not true, because that was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all. Uh-oh. Well, the mirror fragments? We're going too fast with that, though. The real murder was not committed at the stadium at all. Okay, stop for a second. Just think about this. Don't get all panicky, like, oh no, you gotta get it. The revolver. The toilet. Worn at the time of shooting. Oh yeah, this right here, because point blank range, duh. Just looked at that a second ago. Well, of course, I was in the bathroom for all of that. Yeah, I was in the bathroom! Then I believe you'll see why I insist he was not shot at the stadium. This is the part of the costume that proves it! Right here, sir. Take it. The burn around this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point-blank range. Ah, so then you mean the murder that Miss Oldbag saw at the stadium really was... Yes, she saw 2 people, but they were separated by a distance. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, there shouldn't be gunpowder burn. Boom! And that's so important to know, too. It is, like, really. Since you seem to know all the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is then? Lance has set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back in the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. And the location of the ringmaster's head, the location where Lance and the victim were at just before I was imprisoned was... Oh no, oh man. Oh, all of a sudden we got this huge map here. Jeez. Okay, well the real location of which Mr. Deacon was killed was the haunted house. That's where we were. I think it's not unreasonable to assume the murder took place in the haunted house. If somebody screamed, nobody would know, you know. Yes, and I have proof that it's highly likely the victim was killed there. Oh man. Mirror shards, hello! These were inside the costume the victim was wearing. They're fragments of a mirror. A mirror? What does that have to do with anything? Indeed. You don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside a costume. Yeah, it's actually pretty dangerous. However, there is one place I can think of where there is a plethora of mirror fragments. And that is the haunted house. Booyah! Lance Amano, I propose that you killed Mr. Deacon with a revolver in the haunted house. Man, good one. After that, you stole the Blue Badger Mobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when the Blue Badger Mobile was stolen confirms this as a fact. Ooh, boy, you in trouble. Miles, my boy, say no more. I'm sorry, Mr. Amano, but I cannot do that. Oh, and we were such good friends, too, man. Be quiet. Yes, please do something. Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense. Ernest Amano, correct? I meant you. Now be quiet, Chris. Oh! I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. And to call these mirror bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor. I thought you were on my side there for a second. Sheena, wasn't there a mirror at the kidnapper's hideout?
Yes, there was a mirror there.
Yeah, there was. A mirror that's for the haunted house. You see, isn't it possible the fragments got into the costume there? But Agent Lang, there were no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low. It's very low. Probability? Lang Z says, on truth's path, the word probability does not exist. The only thing that does is definitive proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is do you have the definitive proof you need? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you? I'm not sure. The answer is no. See? So since you don't have any, shut up! I don't have the evidence yet, but I will! I will! I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only people at the haunted house besides myself were Lance and Mr. Deacon. If I can prove that the murder took place at the haunted house, then I can prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder. What now, Mr. Edgeworth? Agent Lang, I have a special request. I was just looking for Emma. I don't see her here. I miss her. Yeah. I'd like to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house. Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission? Because I don't really give a rat's ass if you want to find the truth. Alright, permission granted. But you're not going to touch a single thing, you got it? That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is that the truth be brought to light. Doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is. You like this, don't you? Sheena! Oh, not again.
I'm here.
Put in the paperwork for the authorization immediately.
Understood. I'll go get the Gatewater Group's approval.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is it Edgeworth? Wait a minute, he's already here. Oh, dude! Just confess already. Maybe you did something. Let's hold on for a second. There is no need to obtain approval. Mr. Amano? Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this. Oh god, what is this? The ass pull?
It's the deed to the haunted house.
The deed to the haunted house? Read it, out loud.
Gatewater Landing Incorporated hereby bequeaths the property known as the haunted house to Mr. Amano for the lump sum of $1 million paid in full in cash.
What? Ho ho ho, as you can see, I am now the legal owner of the haunted house. When did you do this? Like 5 minutes ago? Oh, what? How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye. You're telling me that $1 million you paid. Don't tell me it was... Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? I don't have any more use for it, so you may have it back now. You used the ransom money. Well, Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier. Well, wait a second here. So I do believe that I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. That's the way things are, so if you please discuss things with me from now on. Discuss? What is there to discuss? Why, permission to enter the haunted house, of course. Oh boy. While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Mr. Amano was out there preempting us. Oh man. What a dirty trick. Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion. Agent Lang, I want you to arrest that girl. And Miles, you should hurry on home now, my boy, before I really lose my temper. Oh, and Mr. Amano definitely has the deck stacked in his favor here. What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever. To be continued, dear God. I wonder if there's any way I can get this down to one video. Where are we at here? Oh God, 1 hour and 38 minutes. Oh, it's gonna be tough, but I might be able to do it. I guess there's no reason why I shouldn't just put it all up as one, except I just don't want to give you guys too much, you know? It's like, Okay, anyway, we're saving there. And next time, I can't even imagine where this is gonna go now. Like, if he owns it, what are we gonna do? We just sneak in? Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Either way, March 13th, 4:27 p.m. It's getting late. Sun's about to go down. And, it's looking bad, guys. Looking bad. We'll see what we can do, though. See you guys next time. Take care, y'all.